Hey, welcome back to my series on Transport Fever 2. We're down here in the south still. We've got a few jobs that I would really like to finish up with down south so that I can move on to a new area. I just wanted to show you that there are still these old farm trucks that are driving around and working on the farms in the area. I don't know whether I will get rid of them. I do like them, making the farms feel a little bit more active. But in terms of my quality of game experience, I've learned that reducing the number of vehicles on the map is helpful. So while they have been around for quite a while, it's a shame, but I might need to get rid of them. So each farm that I've decorated actually has, like three or four of these on the map, and they kind of ran. I have no idea where the farmer is going. He's just like almost randomly drives around the farm. Anyway, um, let's get started, and I can see that oil train both oil trains in the background. Um, and that's one of the things on my list because we did a huge upgrade recently for Alsager, and this is the infamous Alsager crude and oil Alsager in the background. And he's empty here, right? Oh, he's just carrying a little bit of fuel down to Alsager. Alsager has fuel, yeah, very a medium demand for fuel. So I was thinking, sort of, to finish this series of lines off down here, we might take the opportunity to upgrade this train. All the other trains down here have been upgraded, and I think I'll switch this to a 160. Now, it has a 400-meter platform to work from, or 380. 380 or 400? It overhangs on this pickup because this is a very old platform that it's picking up the crude from. Um, oh, I was looking at capacity. Um, I should be looking at meters. What are you doing, Sims? Get your head in the game. I know. We'll get rid of the engine. I think it might be 380 at the oil refinery. And so I'll just put a couple extra on and flip that. We're at 390. All right, well, we'll either be a little bit over or a little bit under. Or if we're a little bit under, that's exactly right. We want to be under if it's 400. Okay, 100 million. No problem at all. Okay. Uh, let's let him fill up there. The oil train that is taking the oil up to the chemical factory up at Kendall Steel. Yeah, you're full. If I upgraded him now, it would be 380, and we would lose a little bit of oil on that. Okay. Job number two. I'm thinking of getting rid of. Well, let's have a look. Yeah, 1,000 people here at the airport. Okay, and I still have a line for Woodham here. Now, the green line, the Bolton line, that is a really profitable line. Let's have a look at this one for a second. It's losing 7, and every now and then it does okay, and then every now and then it doesn't. So it's a little bit hot and cold, all right? But by having both of these lines here at Alsager Airport, it's restricting how well the Bolton line can go. So this is going to Bolton South, and this is a 21 million profitable airline. and it's always running good, but it could run better. It could run better because there's 500 people actually waiting to get on a plane. So let's just do it. Let's just sell all of those. Let's get rid of that line. Oh, by the way, if you've been wondering what these TFS Alsager farm with all these waypoints are, that's the farm trucks with just random waypoints, and I just randomly put those waypoints into a line, and the farm trucks drive around the farm. We want air passenger express Alsager to Woodham. We are going to delete that line. So the line's gone. Uh, they've got access to all the terminals now, and I would say they could instantly have a couple of new planes on the line. So if I do that and put two new planes on the line, right, it's now got 10 vehicles on it. Um, and so does the Air Passenger Express Swindon to Bolton North, which is the northern airport. It exclusively deals with the Bolton line, and it has 10 vehicles on it as well. Um, Actually, if we uh, if we go and have a look at that one, maybe in a minute and see how well that one's running. But this is one airline now at Alsager Airport. Is our oil train on its way back from delivering? And the answer is yes. So we're going to grab him, and we'll just step back from the noise for a second. Uh, so we're going to upgrade you, buddy. Now, hopefully, this train line will stay profitable. I've had issues with it in the past. Um, and it has the potential to lose money if I don't get it quite right. We didn't check the length, did we, on the delivery? So if we bump into it at some stage and have a quick check, if it's not right, we will get an error message, a warning saying that he couldn't switch from the turnaround. How close is the turnaround switch? It's right there. Well, actually, I have put it back from the station intentionally, that if I am ever over on some train upgrade, that it's not a problem. We can also measure this out. That's 40 meters. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 is your standard 320 meter platform. And then it looks like another 80. So that's a 400 meter platform. Yes. So that would be all trains on this line are now modernized, and he should be coming back full at another different version of the same truck. He's going to pull in here and do a pickup, just pick up some goods to take back to the farm, some supplies, that sort of thing. Almost full, but financially, yes, it does. I don't want to look at that one. We'll look at it in a little while, all right? Because this one is just borderline profitable. But now on this line, we do have the same trains on this line. And I'm much happier with that. All right. part two to the deletion of the Woodham airline means that there are no planes flying to Woodham anymore. And while this was my first test airport, it is no longer an airport. And I'm just going to pause it for half a second here because I will smooth. Big brush, big brush, big brush. And we'll take a few of those lumps out there and in here. It's weird that it does that, but that was probably my initial not making it all flat, just making some of it flat to get started with. And then this area here, well, I don't know whether I've ever mentioned, I probably have, I do repeat myself a lot, but you see these squares here. The game really likes it. It will do these squares themselves if you give it the opportunity. Um, it really likes 88 meter squares. If I haven't mentioned that before, um, and once you start doing some 88 meter squares, when it grows or when it fills out, it tries to sort of stick with it. But if you're interested in how to do 88 meter squares, it's like you would just put a road off here at 88 meters, and then that's your square. And if you take it through to the other side, where I can't this time, but if you take your squares um, all the way through, then it's always straight. Whereas on this road, it's not always straight. I've actually got to pick straight. But if you're curious about my square, that my city squares, oh come on, you can do it. There you go. That's how I do my city layouts. If you're curious why they, well, actually, what do we want here? They're building out to there, so we want one more, don't we? We'll do one more. Um, Sometimes the city will expand out a square and it won't exactly be 88 meters. But you know when you see a road sort of just jut out that the city builds, a lot of times that will be an 88 meter road that it drops out. And if the city has expanded at 88 meters, what you'll find is that all these roads see now, they all line up. And that's not a coincidence. And these line up, and these line up. And so that grid pattern that I use, I didn't I didn't work out 88 meters. Um, the game did 88 meters. And then I just started building off from that and discovered that that's sort of what the game liked. Um, so I've kind of stuck with it if I grid up an area, that's what I tend to do. Now I've obviously stuffed up this back end, but they're never going to build out to here, are they? So let me just get it. That was not 88 meters. If you wanted to grid in both directions, you would grid in this direction, 88 meters as well. But I'm happy with that. Because the cities are not expanding anymore. We've touched on that. That they're purposely debuffing or nuking my my growth bonuses for the supplies that I'm making, and 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 I've even watched that the target population just gets like as it grows a little, it just comes back down for absolutely no reason. So it just feels like that it's being nerfed. Um, okay, so with that airport gone, just out of curiosity, I do want to see how these guys are traveling. I haven't checked in on these guys for ages. Um, we can see that the line is just barely making a profit with 10 aircraft on it. It's borderline profitable. Um, yeah, so it's not like in the heyday when it was making like 30 or 40 million dollars a quarter. But I think this one has the potential to get better. Okay, which would pretty much make Alsager complete from my point of view at the moment. I don't see anything else that I would want to do down here. And then that means I would probably did we look to see if it fits in? No, not yet. Um, 2 seconds. Okay, so I just did a save quickly and all is well. Good. Now, down at Fordwich here, I've really been putting off an upgrade on these trains that can carry everything and anything. On the way back, they're taking conmats, food, and plastics because they're the three factories that are down here. And that's our oil train leaving the Kendall Valley Crude and Oil. Now, these this Kendall to Fordwich cargo line comes through here and it stops here on the left. Now, to be honest, I have no idea why they're stopping on the left here. He's not picking up any goods. Is he dropping off any goods? What has he got on? He's not dropping fuel. You're not dropping anything here. Because the only things that need to be dropped here are for either the steel mill, which is over that side, or the goods factory, which is over this side. So plastics needs to come here. Um, and steel, plastics and steel, which is this line here that we've been working on. And then we need, for the steel mill, we need um, the iron and the coal. So our coal trains coming in here and our steel trains, or also bring stone, which transfers over to this side. Um, and the plastics come in here as well. So, all right, so all of our ins come in here, and our cargo train really shouldn't be stopping on the left here. What is it doing on the right? It should be dropping plastics up here. And it will split the plastics. It should split the plastics half to here, and then half onto on the other half goes up to Kendall steel. It's picking up steel on this side, but we made an adjustment. Let me pause it for a second. We added conmats and goods onto this line, conmats onto the steel, and goods onto the plastics last episode because Alsager needed both of those and I'd cut them off accidentally. Now they're starting to get both of them, just starting to. I'm getting a 0% for the small amount that I'm delivering. Yeah, great. Uh, but we are delivering some, but I added them to this line and that was definitely a mistake. I should have known better. I know what my lines are doing, and this line is actually doing conmats and goods on this side. So we need to fix that up. And then with the upgrade of the train, we don't need to stop here. Do I want to straight through here for some trains? Some trains don't need to stop here. No, I think the line runs pretty nicely. Let's have a look. So we don't really want him to put the commats over on that side. He drops commats here for a reason though. Commats go into the city here because we can't deliver commats from this truck stop over here because it's not connected to the conmats. So the conmats come in here, they run around, they drop here, and then they deliver into here. The goods come straight out of here and deliver through this one. And so what are you doing here? Let's have a quick look. You should drop all your plastics. All the plastics should be dropped here. And I really don't want to drop any food. I dropped food here as well. And I want you to pick up all the goods, yes, but I don't want any goods on this side. You should have picked up all the goods. You, you are taking half the plastics with you, which is a pain, because that should be going to Kendall Steel and not to Kendall Cargo. Okay, and the names are slightly confusing, even me. Let me fix that up. Let's fix up the names because up at Kendall we have Kendall Cargo, that's the city, and Kendall Steel is the steel mill, is the steel cargo hub, and this essentially is the Fordwich cargo hub, or the Fordwich Steel cargo hub, and then Fordwich Food is the city, right? So let's rename that. That's meant to be cargo. So we'll rename that cargo, and then this stop here should be steel. So we'll rename that steel, and that makes more sense to me. I'm sure you guys had more trouble with it than what I did, but it was even creating an issue for me. And then we'll tell this train, you don't have to stop here, mate. I don't know why I'm getting them to stop here. There must have been some reason at some point for them to stop here. Were they bringing plastics down at some point? Probably. That that's the only thing that makes sense to me. That at some point they were bringing plastics down. Okay, so from now on, you do not need to stop on the way back from Kendall to Fordwich. Delete that station, and now you go straight up to from the city. You go to the steel, you go to cargo, which is the city. Now, because it only goes to the city, we don't want it taking plastics. We want the plastics to go to the steel. And the steel is taking all of this up to the steel, and none of that should be going to steel. That should be going to the cargo at the city. So it is a mess, isn't it? Totally. And then if I'm going to upgrade this line, it actually does fuel. So the train that's coming down is actually, like I said, it carries everything and anything, and it's carrying fuel. So I think the first thing I want to do for the upgrade is to get the fuel off this line. Should it have its own line, or should I just run it all on the same line? I don't, unless I put a passing line in there for the fuel, I don't see any purpose for them all to have separate lines. They're all going from one place to the other. Except the fuel doesn't stop at the steel. The fuel comes back empty and flies straight through here. That's why I might want a passing line in here. Mind you, that would be a real pain to put one extra line in on that station in particular. That's difficult. Okay. Yeah, we want a separate line so that the so that the fuel new line, the fuel will go all the way with no stop. And we have to select it here because this is a combined station, the only combined station on the map. Okay, and he brings fuel down because fuel is a primary demand here. So at cargo, you'll be doing nothing. Well, let's tell you to make sure you actually don't want to bring anything back. We don't want like crude or anything like that. And then on the way down, we want you to just be fuel. Now, when I put the train on the line, I might need to recheck this. We don't want any stopping either side. No, just pick up and go. And we'll name it. So it is a train line from Kendal to Fordwich fuel. Yes, we like that. That is good. We'll buy a train and it will be, let's do something different down here. Let's go with this, and I have not experimented with any colors on my tankers, but in the past I do like this second brown for my tankers, for other types of tankers, particularly the black ones. 400 meters. Yes. 400 meters with another engine, and we'll flick it. Where's the engine? Are you telling me I didn't put the engine on the front? Probably. Well done, Sims. Yep. 424 is way too long. We will remove two of them. We have a 420 capacity train. That's not too bad, actually, for a 390 meter platform. We'll be fine. $100 million train. We might have to look at the finances. Let's look at the finances, Sims. What are you doing? Are you paying top dollar on your condition of your vehicles? Maintenance is set at very high, plus 50%. We are dropping it back to normal. We're dropping it back to normal so I don't go broke, spending hundreds of millions of dollars on train upgrades. Now, where are you going, Sims? You just bought a train. How about, oh, he's already coming in. Okay, so you'll have to wait. What if you, what if you, Sims, you turn that on? No, that's cities. Now, what if you select the left one? Oh, you bought it on the right one, didn't you, Sims? It's sitting in the right hand side. You can't, yeah, you can't do that, Sims. You should have done it on the left. Okay, fine. We put it on the new fuel line. Done. Too easy. Turn that off. You're a bit late on that, Sims. A bit late on that. Actually, these trains are running so smoothly that I actually don't have them coming across onto the right hand side. Sorry, onto the left hand side. I like all of my trains to come in on the right hand side where possible, because then they just drive straight out and we don't have a lot of crossovers. But this one probably should. Where are we? This one here. We could switch the second one on, just in case when we go to fast trains, they might run a little bit tighter and they might actually arrive one after the other. Now, okay, so we've got the fuel isolated onto its own line and its own train, and it's seeing their way to come out. All right, so the only way, if I don't want to lose any goods here, for example, if I upgrade this to one or the other, if I upgraded it to a goods train, I'll lose the conmats, and if I upgrade it to a conmats train, I'll lose the goods. So I need to catch them as they come in. And then the other thing I want to do is switch around these goods, but I want to be able to do them probably when the train comes in and fills up. Okay, so I do not have the ability to speed up time, guys. That does crash my game, or it just doesn't bother speeding up and it leaves me in single speed. So we won't even attempt to speed up here, but we do have a train coming in, and so this will be our first upgradable train, and hopefully, while we can get this cleared, while we're doing that, we could upgrade. Now, all my timing was based on these trains being 246s, but if they're this newer train, they'll run even quicker. What if I what if I replace these two? Um, blue, blue steel, 400 meters. Now they were slightly over before, so I'll keep them slightly over. With this one, I will, what, delete the engine and delete the engine and go purple and flip it. Okay. And then what will end up happening now is these should be able to pass a lot easier on on our passing there. And if we miss the train coming in, we don't want to miss the train coming in, do we? Yeah, we missed the train coming in. Damn it. All right. Hmm. Not good, Sims. Not good at all. Oh, look at this. This is our fuel train. Let's have a look. Let's turn around. Yeah, I like them. Not bad at all. Not bad. What I want to do is I want to time these trains so that when they empty close to zero, I'm doing the upgrade then. So it'll drop all of its goods and then I'll make a change to the train. So I'm watching the fuel here, 6. Good enough, close enough. Then I do an upgrade on this train, and I think I'll make the first train a Conmat's train. So we'll go with the engine, Conmat's, 400 meters, engine, flip it, remove it, done. Okay, that's the first one done. So now he will pick up the Conmats that are here. We'll let these goods build up because we don't want these goods delivered yet, making this problem even worse. Oh, he picked up everything. He did pick up everything. Okay. A little bit of goods there. Not a big deal. Okay. So we want to tell this train, you're not picking up all those things anymore. Because he's taking them to the steel factory, which means they have to get off there and then transfer to the cities, which doesn't make sense. Okay, at Fordwich Steel, you are no longer picking up conmat. Oh, the conmats are still there. We'll need to do the conmats in a minute. You're no longer picking up food or goods, and you're picking up plastic. Why are you not picking up plastics? You're a plastics train. Sims, what are you doing? That should have been picking up plastic. Okay. And then when this train comes in, we're going to tell it, what are we going to tell it? We're going to tell it to drop off its plastic and pick up all the goods. Oh no, it's a Conmats train. Damn, it's going to make the Conmats a little bit worse, but that's okay for now. That's not a problem. It's dropping off Conmats here to go to the city. We don't want it to drop off Conmats here, but I'm going to wait for an empty platform to make that change. And he should be pulling out. Yep, Conmat's pulling out. And he's only half full, but that's okay. It'll take a minute to get this line sorted now that I'm separating the goods back to base game goods instead of my cheaty wagons and state cars, which basically carry anything. I've loved them. I've used them almost all game. I think I discovered them like about episode 6 or 7 or something like that. I found them in the mod store, and then it was just I'm giving these a try, and they've been on the map since the start of the game almost. They did get an era upgrade, so they went from like an 80 kilometer wagon and state car up to a 100 kilometer state car and a 120 wagon. So they did get a variant throughout the game, which was quite helpful. Um, and not you're not stopping anymore. That's good. And you're going to pick up. Please pick up the conmats. Oh, there's more conmats coming in, so it will take a minute or two because he is. I'm sure he's splitting this 3 ways. He's going to split here onto this platform and then probably carry some himself. Let's see. Yeah, combats on platform, combats on the truck, on the steel, and then a little bit left over. Yeah, he's splitting it 3 ways. And I don't want him to drop here anymore. I want this train really just to focus on the steel and this train to focus on the combats. There's no need for them to be splitting the goods like that. Okay, let me pause. Did a train sneak through here on me? No. Where is it? But it is coming, Sim. So you're not meant to be moving away from this train. Because I've got the rest I'll make goods trains, right? There's 3 more trains on the line. I'm going to make all 3 of them goods trains. And we just fixed up the goods problem. We've still got the combats problem to issue to solve on that on the steel platform. But these are 3 simple upgrades, right? Just turn these 3 trains into goods trains and we should be good. And if I don't want to lose any of the goods on board, what are the goods on board? 59 fuel. If I want the 59 fuel to be delivered, this is how I do it. I don't lose the goods. I just wait until it pulls in here, and if not 0, it's hard to hit 0, right? You gotta you gotta get lucky. Here we go. Oh, there is one. There could be some con mats on it. I can't even see the con mats, but there's one. Okay, we're doing the upgrade. No problem at all. Here we go. We want to change you to a goods train. All three goods trains will be the same. They'll be you in that 400 meters. What is that? That is a flip. It's hitting the wrong button. And that is a delete. And that is a delete. And that is a buy. Okay, go. Now then he should pick up, what, a half train? Yeah, because the he would have been picking up, he would have allocated to the train some other goods like conmats. And because I just changed the train so it can't take conmats, it cannot take conmats. So, it was probably already allocated to the train, which is why these trains will only end up doing a half load on the time that I do the upgrade. Yeah. Okay, we've got a minute here. Um, we're hoping for a steel train. And then this line will be fixed completely. Are you a steel train? No, you're a coal train. Followed by, what are you, my friend? We're hoping for a steel train. Yes, you are. Beautiful. Okay. Oh, let me mention just quickly, in the comments, Stephen Spry, follower of the channel, did make a comment to say that he felt that this signal, he had an issue with it. And I agree with him 100%. Um, I spent last episode talking about this signal here in particular, making it really tight through here, slow through. This is not generally a signal that you would put in straight after a junction. If your train's stuck in front of this is a terrible signal. If your train line is so busy that you've got trains stacking and it stops at this red light, this is not a good signal. You don't want it to stop at this light. Let's say you might want it to stop at here maybe. However, because my signaling is so tight into here and tight into here, I don't have trains stopping at this signal. I don't have stacking down the line. My line is running what I would say quite smoothly. The idea of this is to get it as a roll through instead of a stop. And and I agree. If if you're when you're playing the game, if your lines are very busy, then you should not be placing signals on the wrong side, what we would say the wrong side of the junction. These signals, this signal here is on the right side of the junction. That's where you want it to stop and then merge on. You don't want it to necessarily stop here. The idea is that the next train that comes through there, if they're coming through at the same time, it just runs more smoothly for me than, whoops, Sims, what are you doing? You got sidetracked. Oh, it has filled up, hasn't it? It has filled up. What have you done, Sims? You messed it up. He's going to have to... Oh, how much fuel have you got, buddy? Yeah, nice. Okay, our fuel train is pulling in for the first time. But he's going to get stuck behind a train now. And... Okay, this is going to be the last goods train. No, the second last goods train. What are we dropping? 29. There we go. We'll do this upgrade, and we've got one left, and then we'll be done. Okay. Whoop, engine. Engine. Then we go goods. 400. Engine. We will flip it, and we'll lose one. We'll upgrade it, and we're good. Okay. Here comes a Conmatch train. Beautiful. I think we can get away with just one Conmatch train on this line. I think so. Yeah. Let's have a look. Will he pick up all the because last time he was here he only picked up half, right? So this has been building up a little. Oh, except for the train I missed, of course. He took some. All right. Well, you have enough room for what that other train took. Okay. Last train on the line. This is fixed now. No, it's not. No, you messed it up, Sims. You told it to put commats back here again. And so after he picks these up, we need to adjust it again. Yeah, so I like all trains coming in on the right-hand side. The overflow is to the left, and that way when they pull out, they don't do the crossover. And you only get this crossover delay when there is a train in on the left. So I do prefer all of my trains as the primary pickup is always on the right hand side here. So they've got the straight line out of the station. And if there is overflow, then they can come straight in on the left hand side. But then you get a weird crossover like we've got right now. He picked up all of the Conmats. Beautiful. We will tell you the line. Again, no more Conmats. Okay. And simply put, he's stuck behind this train. Well, everyone is stuck behind this train now. And when he gets to his destination, we can upgrade him on the other end of the line. I'd like to thank you all for the support you've given me in recent weeks, understanding of some of my predicament that I have, a blown up TV. I had a dodgy mic for so long. Last week, I apologize. I didn't even bother to go in and change the settings on the mic. It was just at this default really low setting. And so my audio quality last week was very low, and the balance of the audio was terrible. Like my voice was getting muffled by the sound of the engines and the trains, etc. This week I've made a fairly dramatic adjustment to it. It might even be too loud. It might even be too sensitive now. It might take a couple of episodes just for me to get it right. But it should be louder, hopefully not too loud. If it is, I apologize. I will get it sorted. The longer episodes, again, because the TV's blown up, apologies. I've got less game time. So I am doing longer records and less of them. I really would like to go back on. So if I started a new series, I would do 30-minute episodes if I could. It's just, yeah. I mean, I guess what are you saying, Sims? I could sit here and record 2 episodes instead of 1 hour. I could do them at 30 minutes, and then drop them, you know, 2 this week instead of 1. I could do that. Yes. Um, I'm not sure how long this situation will be for. I just don't have the money for a brand new TV right now. Not with the bills that are already sitting on the kitchen bench. Okay, we are going to finish this episode off with an upgrade here, which should put us in a really interesting place on this Fordwich and Alsager all being totally upgraded in the south here. This will be the final upgrade. It's a lot of goods it's carrying. Oh, it's starting to pick up. I didn't catch that at all. We can live with that. How do we do the upgrade, Sims? You were not concentrating. We do that one and we make it a goods train. We will upgrade that color wagons, boxcars. Is that what they call them? Boxcars, of course they do. Then an engine, then a flip, and a remove, and a buy, and we're done. Um, what's this train going to do? It probably would. It should just pick up a little bit of tools and a little bit of machine parts, and that's all it really does bring back. And we will have some stacking behind it because it was that 100-kilometre train. So it was the slow train with the fast fuel behind it, and now fast goods coming up behind it. Should be, what have we got on this? Goods? No plastics. Oh, a little bit of plastics are still going to take a little while to cycle round. That's interesting. I'll check on that later. Comats train, cool, like that. Let's just tell it, um, does it have instructions for what it can pick up from the steel? Well, it's picking up comats from here, right? Yeah. And it's picking up nothing from there. Just double checking, that's all. Okay. Uh, that is it. Think, I think this entire line, all lines down here now are modernized. I'm going to leave my gondola trains as the C40, at least, at least for now. Um, and all of my city delivery trains. Now, I don't think this was as bad as what I thought it was going to be. This was a real mess down here, and that is cleaned up. Look, it's just plastics and steel. We've got one little good sitting there that's waiting to transfer over. We have goods, we have stone. Oh, look at all that stone. Oh, he's coming into, no, that's the oil train. Is he stuck behind that? No, he's not stuck behind it. Okay. Just an interesting build-up of stone we've got happening there. Okay. That is, I'm really happy with that. That is done. These trains should run quicker now as well. Not sure if one already got through. We've got a full train. No, it's filling backwards. So we got a train still loading here. So these are going to be even faster. So I know they used to be, the last train I looked at going through here was about 115 was really top speed. It was like an empty train coming through here. Could be about 115, 113, 115. It was empty. A full train about 105. So he's getting to here almost 20 clicks faster, which means he gets through no problem because he's a faster train. That's the second train going past, by the way. That's not the first train. So that's the second train squeezing through now. Instead of being caught behind him and getting the slowdown here, which is what this signaling is all about, is it all about this slowdown. It's kind of interesting whether how often it'll actually be needed anymore with the faster trains on the line. All right. Thank you very much for watching. This entire area in the south here has been modernised. All of Alsager, all of Fordwich are all good now. Everything in the Kendall here is running really well. Very busy. Very busy. But this is all modernised now. We will get some stacking here because of the slow trains. We'll still have that effect. I'll just need to run through the line a little bit. They'll get some separation through a whole cycle and then we'll be good. This oil train has had an upgrade as well. I did say I wanted to see whether it was now more profitable. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that number before. I've never seen an $8 million profit on this line before. As you can see, it was profitable barely most of the time. There were a few quarters there that it was sort of not quite. However, that is better than it's ever been. I mean, can I change that scaling? Will it populate the scaling if I go back to its worst years? Yeah, maybe. There there have been some bad times and some good times on this line. Um, right now, that's the best it's ever been. Oop, no, you don't want to go that low, Sims. 20 years. Um, oh, that's excellent. That's excellent. We're actually making more money on that line. That's what the name of the game is, making money. All right. I'm going to leave you guys here. Thank you very much for watching. You guys have a great week, and I will see you next time. Bye for now.